Beau, what initially made you excited to be part of this project, and what enticed you to the role of Cash?
Man, first initially it was the ranch lifestyle. Last few years I've been getting in the horses and horseback riding and looking to get a ranch of my own. And so this script came on board to my desk, and the character was complicated and um, interesting, and all the characters were, and they had their clear destinations, and they intertwined really well with each other. And I just loved the world. I loved it. So that was my initial draw to it.
Nancy, coming off your 10-year run of Last Man Standing, which was also centered around a family and its everyday struggles, and this being your next big series, what would you say? Would you say that the familial aspect was the main appeal to your character of Isabel?
I think it was a big draw, but also just that Isabel is very much her own person, her own woman, and a multifaceted person. I was excited to play somebody who's not just kind of charming for the man, as I say. And like Beau, I was just so fascinated by this world that I admire and appreciate from a distance, but was just dying to get into it.
Right.
And how does it work? And how do these people survive? And what motivates them? And what makes them excited to get up every morning? So that was a really fun journey to take. I think audiences will relate to Isabel because it's very clear to her what she's passionate about and what matters to her, and what she's willing to do and willing to sacrifice for those things. And I think Isabel, to me, Isabel is every woman. She's everybody's struggle. She's everybody's triumph. And I think people, male and female, will see a lot of themselves in her. And certainly for me, I look at her and I admire her. I admire her grit and her tenacity and her her grace, I guess, as well.
Tiera, I'm curious, what were your first thoughts when you got the script and you read the character of Missy?
My first thoughts were I was really drawn to how this young woman can, have dealt with so much in her life and had gone through this big grief and still navigating this family and all these dynamics. And I thought it was a really interesting opportunity to play somebody who was very grounded in this world and had so many complex things going on and these relationships and where does she stand and this self-discovery, but also like a very different world and setting than anything I've ever played before, and I just thought that was really really interesting.
To you, what makes the series unique, and what do you think? What are you most excited for fans to get out of it and experience?
I think what makes this show unique, and we've talked about this a lot, is somebody in one of our other interviews said something that was just amazing, like almost getting a sneak peek into these, like an intimate peek into this family's lives that maybe you weren't supposed to see. And I think it's really cool that, we are able to be at the forefront of this show that's showcasing these really authentic family dynamics and the way that they're navigating this world. And I think fans are going to be able to, everybody's going to have something to relate to, and you can watch it with your family and you can find, hope and love and drama and heartache and grief. Like it's so complex, but everybody can find a reason to smile through every episode and a reason to feel empathy and courage. And I think that that's really special.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the biggest challenge in playing this character for you, and how much training went into the role?
The biggest challenge, I think, just figuring out, well, yeah, how broken is he exactly? How big of a shield does he have? How much is he willing to share that? All that kind of emotionality of it. The physical stuff is challenging in its own way, but it kind of like takes care of itself if you put it in the time. Yeah, figuring out just who he was and how I wanted to play him, and I ended up just kind of going back to, yeah, the softness of him, where he's a rugged kind of cowboy, but deep down, there's a real soft, tender heart to him. So that was kind of fun and challenging to discover.
I know it could have been a security concern potentially, but did you get to ride any bulls? Was that real, or did you have a lot of
I got
stunt
to
doubles?
sit on them in the chute, which is the bull riders say that the most dangerous part, because they can get stuck in the chutes and the bulls can hit you. I almost got a promo
you
chute.
did?
Yeah, because I didn't have a spotter. You're supposed to have a spotter when you're sitting on the bull, and I was leaning too far forward, and the bull went
And
back.
I was standing right over you like this.
Oh, yeah.
We were both really close to it.
Really close.
Yeah.
Oh God, I didn't know that.
So I didn't get to ride it, but I would love to try. Maybe not on.
Maybe
Yeah.
wait until we're done.
Then wait till we're done. Yeah, but I would like to try
I
it.
can't even imagine, honestly. I mean, I think of it like downhill skiing. I mean, you wouldn't take somebody who doesn't know how to ski and just
Put
say,
them on a black diamond and be like, go.
or even just go off. I mean, it's more like doing a flip off a cliff. I
Yeah.
mean, it's so difficult. And as you were saying earlier, just 8 seconds, people think, oh, 8 seconds, that's quick. 8 seconds feels like a lifetime. I can't
God.
even
Yeah, it's a
imagine.
long time.
Even watching it, like when we were watching the scenes of the actual bull riders riding for 8 seconds, I was like, please be okay, please
Yeah,
be
I
okay,
know.
please be okay. Like, and it feels like an eternity. And I can only imagine if, watching
Yeah.
it feels like an eternity, how long that 8 seconds feels.
Very.
Before this, have any of you guys previously worked or filmed on an actual ranch before?
I didn't.
I did a show, and they built an edifice. It wasn't a working ranch, but yeah. So no.
So what was that experience like in between filming? Did you guys get to hang out with the animals at all? Was there any one-on-one bonding?
I think it's like having grandchildren. I mean, you get to hand them back. So we had the pleasure of being on the ranch and being a witness to all of the facets of what that's like, but we didn't actually have to do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
It's great.
And I think
analogy.
it's a hard life. I'm sure it's rewarding, but
Very hardworking.
ranchers,
Yeah.
wranglers work very, very hard.
I know you can't really give any spoilers away, but did you have any certain experiences on set that was like a favorite in mind from shooting season 1?
I have a lot of one of the ones that stand out for me is we were doing this scene, which is actually in the first episode, this like bonfire scene, and we were filming it late at night. It was the middle of summer. There was an actual fire. Someone was playing the guitar, and we're doing this scene, and I'm sitting there going like, this feels like I'm filming a TV show, and we're like in this beautiful setting out in the field, and I'm like, wow, this is like, I left that day being like, this is my job? Like, I don't understand. Like, it felt like just a bunch of friends literally hanging out and having a bonfire and getting to do the thing that they loved. Like, it was amazing.
Cool.
I just think, all those simple things. There's snapshots in my mind of the foal running around with its 2 mamas and the cows coming in from the field, and just the way the light played on the mountains, and the way the clouds would move, and it just gorgeous images in my mind.
We laughed a lot too.
We laughed.
We
Wow.
laughed a lot. Like, I have like the snapshots that come to my head are like Nancy and I like buckled over, not able to get through a scene laughing, or like me and Jake not being able to like look at each other in the eye because we can't stop laughing, or like, like we had so many moments with all of us in between where it was really fun.
For sure. I got to gallop a horse
My last
over. Let me. I'm gonna tell you my galloping
go ahead.
horse. Oh no, I'm sorry. I got to like, for an hour ride a horse up up a little hill through the tall grass, and like a nice little lope, in the sunshine,
Yeah.
and it's just like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
God's
So
country.
cool.
Yep.
My last question for you guys is, what have you learned from this project that you think you'll use in future roles?
Oh.
Interesting.
We've been really collaborative. more
Yeah.
so than I have been on other
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
That might be
Oh,
a
for
product of us as individuals together,
Mhm.
but I like that a lot. I
Yeah.
really like being
Yeah.
collaborative and bouncing ideas off each other. Oh, that worked. Oh, that doesn't work. And
Yeah.
getting the ego out of there. And, you know, if I can bring that to the next job, I think that would really behoove me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was also like something really special about all of us not being in our hometowns,
Uh-huh.
like really bonded us in a way where we like felt like this
Yeah, that's
family for each other in Calgary, when we were away from our homes and our families. And not that that's something that I can necessarily bring, but I think that that for us added a really fun, like really, yeah, like communal element, which allowed us to have these really big conversations about characters and have it, yeah, like be a collaboration. Like we all cared about each other's storylines as much as our own, which is very rare. Like, you know, you work with people and you show up and you do your thing, but we showed up for everybody all the time, and that was a really wonderful experience.
And I don't know if it's necessarily, you know, something that they bring to another role necessarily, but I feel like a lot of the things that this family faces are the stuff of Greek tragedy. I mean, it's just huge things, and as when you're in the midst of all of that sort of turmoil, it's the small things, the very small things that lighten your load or make it just remind you that these are all part of the fabric of life. Just and also bring humor, and it's finding those kernels of humor and connection in the midst of, I don't know, thunderclouds.